ultimately, of course, he's fighting.
At the turn of the millennium, the big-boned Eric Esch was splitting guys into atoms with a single touch.
He trying to certainly punch him, and he does there with a right.
The necklace man known as Butterbean had been crushing opposition in the boxing ring for 2 decades.
Big right hand.
Later stormed the kickboxing frontline and even cracked some chins in MMA. It's time to enjoy the exorcistic knockouts by a one-of-a-kind character in sports history. The year is 1991. The Hubble telescope is transforming our view of space. And the first website has just been launched. As the world stands on the brink of major changes, Eric Esch from Jasper, Alabama, leads a life that blends into the background. With no prospects of a cat burglar career, he works at a factory from dawn to dusk and raises children with his wife. The turning point comes when Eric's colleagues convince him to enter a local Tough Man contest.
What makes these guys so tough?
It was a tournament open to anyone wanting to prove they were the baddest dude in the county. For some prize money, bar regulars would go all out in the boxing ring. Standing at 5 feet 11 inches tall, Eric weighed over 420 pounds, well above the 400-pound super heavyweight limit. In order to enroll, he went on a strict diet, fueling his nearly perfectly spherical body with only chicken breasts and butter beans for 2 weeks. The latter stuck as the moniker and would soon replace Esch's real name.
Eric Esch, the Butterbean!
Lacing up the gloves for the first time at 23 years old and rocking patriotic shorts, he preferred not to spend extra calories on defense. Immediately going for the kill instead.
Sabu trying to hang in there. Pressure-filled situation.
Rather than listening to Clubber Lang, he followed the simple tips from his wife.
Put it on. Oh, 2, 3.
And in pursuit of a fat check, he disposed of his opponents like his favorite beans.
You know, like most in their debut, Paul Springer can probably get it, but can he take it?
After winning 5 Tough Man world titles and racking up 36 knockouts, in '94, Eric decided to challenge the pros. He caught the eye of Bob Arum, who offered the former factory worker a solid contract. The seasoned promoter knew that with Butterbean's size, he would struggle over long distances, so all of his fights were limited to 4 rounds. Bursting onto the big stage, hungry for victory, Esch displayed the true peak of male physique.
Your fights all the way through, so he could fight 4 times in a night.
Eagerly digesting anything thrown his way to close the distance,
Round 1. In fact, he's landing anytime he feels like it.
he would unload at close range,
That time, Doug Norris got his head in his stomach.
catching people with counter hooks.
And you're seeing some tough man windmilling by Butterbean. He still has that.
He's getting nailed.
And wisely initiated head-on collisions.
There's the punches around.
Whereas opponents stood no chance.
He'll outbox him, but then he'll get...
Well, it's wild now, folks, and there goes Doug Norris. It's over.
One touch on the button by the cargo ship was all it took.
His right hand there.
Wanting to get the job done quickly against Luis Monaco, Butterbean revved it up from the word go.
He's scary just coming at you.
Butterbean may end up having some longer tough man fights.
Forcing an open brawl.
His physique, just the opposite of Butterbean. He lands a good right hand. Oh, there goes Monaco. Second knockdown.
Then, rolling out into firing position, he unleashed a kiloton overhand.
Good night.
There goes Monaco. Butterbean gets the job done.
A sharp counter over the lead hand, bob down and weave out to the side.
He's a big, strong man.
People started taking Eric seriously.
Chin went very well knocked you out.
Moreover, Eric was full of beans, sometimes fighting every week.
And in truth, we thought that Myers out.
Crucial for a heavyweight, he could take a punch
Fight more instinctively if he tries to get too far.
to land one of his own.
Jabs, not much. Bean comes in.
Try a left hook to the body, then go upstairs. Now he's uppercutting.
The interesting thing, Dave, is he hasn't really hurt.
And wasn't too picky about the targeting.
Seen referees get hit in the past. That might be one of the most dramatic shots he walked into.
His foe was so worried about the prospect of sharing the referee's fate that he opted not to continue.
Woods, who doesn't have to ref anymore.
Tonight he won too. Were you trying to tell the referee to stop the fight there, Bean?
Well, not exactly. He just got in the way, just like Tough Man. Somebody gets in the way and they go down. It wasn't intentional, but it happens.
Amassing 15 consecutive victories in 1 year, 10 of them being demolition jobs, Butterbean got the chance to perform at the legendary Madison Square Garden.
Round one. Butterbean going right after Mitch Rose.
His adversary, Mitchell Rose, weathered the initial onslaught
Rose wild with a left hand. Butterbean a clubbing right hand to the body.
and provided some food for thought with a series of precise 1-2s.
Good for pound. Big right hand right there. This is all Rose is out. Big right. 8 seconds to go. Big right hand by Rose. He's teeing off on Butterbean into that.
Butterbean responded with a barrage to the torso,
Bob Arum, the promoter of Top Rank, calls him the heavyweight king of the 4-rounders. Well, he's got
but emptied his oxygen tank,
by Mitch Rose from Brooklyn. Big right hand by Mitch Rose.
becoming a stationary target.
There's the uppercut we talked about. Butterbean's on his feet. Might be time to stop this. The referee stopped the fight.
The loss didn't hurt Bean's stock too much, and he was still mastering the art of fisticuffs. A month and a half later, the Humpty Dumpty from Alabama would showcase improved peekaboo skills. Move his head off the center line,
And Ed, you were talking about Butterbean trying to get that jab out. Right now, not thinking.
and embrace the role of a counterpuncher.
Butterbean now. Ed, I called it.
Good luck to both of you.
And when it was time to bite down on the mouthpiece,
Right hand by Butterbean in close. He calls himself the heavyweight champion of 4-rounders.
no one could stop the Stars and Stripes juggernaut.
The men's business tonight. Good right hand by Butterbean. Clark trying to fight back. That's it. Clark is down and out of the ring. Eric Esch, Butterbean does it again.
The overconfident Sean Jegan, riding a 3-fight knockout streak, barely scratched the outer layer.
Jagan shaking up the tricep. He fought William Harris in Beverly Hills, California.
And realizing his mistake,
Good right hand by Butterbean. Have you ever seen a greater disparity in the look
jumped on his bicycle,
bodies? And Bean is opening up.
but couldn't pedal away in time.
Butterbean in. Good right hand, left hand, down goes Jagan, hits his head hard. Fight is over.
Notching his 10th consecutive KO, Butterbean claimed the special King of the 4-Rounders belt from the IBA.
He is a very popular man.
Now 25-1, Eric opened 1997 in style, although irritated as if he'd been served a salad. He allowed the undefeated Kurt Allen to get his licks in from a distance.
Use the Holyfield Tyson approach. And then score and then get out of there.
Before intercepting an uppercut
Fighting game. There's a good right hand from Butterbean and another one from Butterbean.
and barreling forward with wild swings like a giant snowball. In the third round, Esch cornered his prey
Stretched arm of Allen, but that's
and spun his grinding windmill.
all the shots in there, except for that right. Oh, look out. There goes Butterbean. Allen in trouble. Bean is throwing his body.
Forcing the referee to step in.
As Eric Esch, Butterbean goes to work. He's got Allen between the ropes, in trouble. Jane 80 gets between the two and stops the fight.
A couple of months later, the metrically challenged Ken Woods
Oh, good left hook.
was finished off like a quarter-pounder with cheese.
Oh, right, he goes down.
Tremendous right by Butterbean. Whoa!
The exorcism procedure took less than 5 minutes.
Lights out. Tremendous power from the 333-pounder.
When it was time to announce the winner, the injured party was still in the realm of the undead.
Oh, from right, he goes down.
Butterbean's bulging charisma and eye-catching fighting style made him one of the most recognizable figures in the boxing world, even in the talent-rich 90s. Despite lacking major titles, he rivaled decorated champions in popularity. Eric regularly appeared on TV, was a guest on late-night shows.
I mean, did you feel bad? I mean, this.
Well, I was shocked because I looked down and it was the wrong guy laying there.
Starred in commercials, and interacted with fans. Butterbean also graced the cover of EA Sports Tough Man Contest, a tribute to the Bean's early fighting adventures. Players had to defeat one opponent after another, before facing the final boss.
I'm gonna kick your ass!
The game sold decently, and received positive reviews from Sega users. However, Ash's most memorable appearance was on the legendary comedy TV series Jackass.
Today we're going to do a little boxing.
He and Johnny Knoxville had a real boxing match right in the middle of a shopping mall.
You guys touch gloves and come out fighting.
For added effect, Bean was supposed to go full force, leaving the stunned audience to witness a not-so-competitive ass-whooping.
Give me once. There you go.
He's out. Butterbean okay?
The professional opposition didn't have it any easier, no matter how much Ed White tried to utilize his reach.
Ed White's reach and height advantage here, and he's putting it, he doesn't care about the legend.
He was helpless against Butterbean's swift hooks.
He's got his mouth open.
Oh, big.
Rounds. Really just caught the left hook.
Unloading up and down.
Good left hook by Butterbean. Now he tries to follow it up. White actually took it.
Eric rushed forward, asserting his dominance.
Bean trying to certainly punch him, and he does there with a right hand, and down goes White, and down goes Joe Cortez, the referee.
White bravely got back up,
Butterbean comes right to him.
only to dive over the ropes for good.
Left-right combination, White is down and out of the ring. Fight is over, and another cut developed on the face of Butterbean beside.
Bean's skills were often questioned, but no one doubted the sheer force he could generate.
And if he were in outer space, he'd say, Houston, we have a problem. Come to think of it, he may have been in outer space for just a couple of seconds.
The king of the four-rounders continued flying from one small event to the next, altering the tide charts with each journey. The reckless Scott Lindecker planned to pierce through the armor with a toothpick.
Porter wants him to do that.
We haven't seen the fight. How will they score this?
Which seriously angered the owner.
Butterbean very upset.
Down goes Lindecker. Fight is over.
Moral of the story, don't get Butterbean enraged.
Leaning back just enough and landing the right hand,
Did he taunt the Bean?
Eric set himself up for a more serious test. Owner of a solid 8-1 record and a mustache of death, Billy Eaton was eager to squash Butterbean.
Billy. And he floors Butterbean with his first punch of the fight. A straight left.
Yet a harpoon cannon wasn't part of his arsenal.
No defense. Hands down. Butterbean doesn't expect to have to defend himself. You can't do that in boxing. Now he gets in. Two sides have been so poorly conditioned that they were totally exhausted by the second round. Eaton takes a body shot and another, and
Nevertheless, he was the first to hold his own while trading with the king.
boy, when Butterbean hit this fella, he withers. Put the pressure on.
It is a majority draw.
A fair draw set the stage for a rematch.
Have a good bite.
Ash introduced unorthodox shift step hooks.
Has a history of busting up, you know.
hook there, but he's trying to make Butterbean miss because he knows that Butterbean
minded his P's and Q's,
he seems confused.
Yeah, he just
and waited for his chance, intercepting enemy strikes.
Bean caught him with a left hook and dropped him.
In the third stretch, he even got possessed by the spirit of Roy Jones.
Eaton showing all kinds of heart while Bean is pounding around. Eaton is about the business of Eaton fighting. His fight, though. Eaton should continue moving around using the ring. He doesn't have to stay in.
Butterbean swooped in with a huge right.
Tribute to the commissioner. He's been in with a new nutritionist. And Eaton dropped again. Bean
and lashed out in the pocket.
Two good punches. And walked into a left in the chin there. Square on the chin. All but over. Bean. Target practice. Over now. It's all over.
Putting an exclamation point on the rivalry.
Bean, very impressive.
The leaping hook served as the primary weapon, causing critical damage.
Power indeed, and a certain...
The scrap with the lanky Troy Roberts kicked off as a rock'em sock'em affair.
And he's just a delightful man.
And look at Butterbean.
You are right. Roberts feels the way to beat Butterbean, and it is the way, is if you can...
Says Roberts. He has one round of boxing his last 15 months at the hands of the late...
The raw power discrepancy showed itself in the second round.
I had him at 10.
As Eric built on his success.
Roberts.
And continued to have the last word in exchanges.
And British Columbia.
Against these kinds of heavyweights that has gotten the job done. Kind of knocked Roberts off balance. And there's one that's a little better. And that's Roberts in trouble.
By the 7-minute mark, Troy's health bar was empty.
Butterbean turns it on.
As usual, finishing his shift early.
Very one-dimensional attack, but it got the job done.
Butterbean defended his 4-round King title, and his knockout tally surpassed 30.
From 3 different angles. Look at that.
In the late 90s, the gravitational pull of Butterbean's persona attracted so much attention that he was invited to perform at WWF events. Eric made his pro wrestling debut in '97 when he squared off against Mark Marrow. However, Butterbean's most memorable performance took place a year later. Unlike the previous work, he was set to engage in a legitimate shoot fight against local macho Bart Gunn. It later turned out that the WWF president, Vince McMahon, orchestrated this matchup specifically to punish Gunn for his earlier victory in a bout where he was scripted to lose. Anticipating the inevitable, the referee brought in for the event was none other than Vinny Pazienza, a multiple-time boxing world champion, also celebrated for his incredible comeback from a neck break. Butterbean needed just 15 seconds to demonstrate the gap between real fighters and jacked actors.
Probably Butter. Oh, wow! You see that? All of these guys got right hand and knocked out of Bart Gunn.
After the second hit,
27 seconds left. Oh, there's the right hand, folks. It's over. Goodbye. It's over.
only a necromancer could help Bart rise again. The branded overhand added another stone-cold knockout to Eric's collection.
Means tremendous power. Oh my God!
It's worth noting that unlike many boxers in the 90s, Butterbean could pass any doping test, unless it included a cholesterol screening. Moreover, after 5 years of active competition, he grew significantly faster.
Round one, they're urging him to move ahead and try and end this fight.
Now strategically bombing all levels. Pumping a slip jab.
He's trying.
Having a much better feel of the distance. And most importantly, staying fresh throughout all 4 rounds.
Big right hand, and that is it. That is probably going to be the end of this fight.
No one had ever expected a 350-pound Esh to be able to bounce in with the lead hook, especially late into the fight.
Big right hand, and that is it.
In 1999, 32-year-old Butterbean had accumulated a phenomenal record of 46-1 and an army of fans.
Butterbean in. Good right hand, left hand, down goes Jagan, hits his...
Competing sometimes every 2 weeks and avoiding the judges' services, his broad silhouette overshadowed the true boxing elite. Clearly, some representatives of the upper echelons viewed Eric with disdain, considering the overeating upstart unworthy of such attention.
What would it take for people really to take you seriously as a fighter?
Well, most of the guys I fight take me very seriously, so I don't care about the rest.
I mean the upper echelon of the class that fight.
Oh, the boxing purists.
That's correct.
I don't care about them either, but the fans I do care about, and I give them a good fight, and that's all that matters.
It was evident that the tomato can diet, the only diet Butterbean adhered to, was a consequence of the 4-round format. Ash had no intention of stepping outside the familiar and suitable setup, while top boxers were reluctant to switch back from the 12-round model. Peter McNeely was the exception. The 45-4 Irishman, with 34 finishes to his name, was notorious for his bout against Mike Tyson.
I'm Hurricane Peter McNeely from Medfield, Mass. On Saturday night, watch me kick Tyson's ass.
Crazy enough to go bone on bone with the recently freed Iron Mike.
Comes right at Mike Tyson. Down goes McNeely.
Because they were starting to butt heads.
Tyson with a left hook, a right uppercut. Down goes McNeely again.
He was disqualified when his cornermen rushed to his aid.
They want Tyson to go to the neutral corner.
All things considered, the action was guaranteed.
Butterbean easy to hit with the jab or anything else for that matter, but he's already well. Peter McNeely is not.
Butterbean got the pendulum going.
Left hook by McNeely.
Crossed the void with a two-piece. Slipped and ripped to the body.
Probably the whole jump.
And found his rhythm.
His best punch. Butterbean lands a couple of big shots in there.
Toward the end of the first, he stopped playing around. Sent Peter's teeth flying into the crowd as souvenirs and tuned him up until the stoppage.
This one might not go too much longer. And they stop it. With only moments.
Devouring a pro from the upper echelons inside 3 minutes, Butterbean made a bold call-out.
Did you take a big step up tonight, do you think?
I take a big step every time I walk. I'm 300 pounds.
Where do you want to go? Do you want to stay?
I want Mike Tyson. 4 rounds, 10 rounds, gonna be just like this. He's too stupid to run. He'll stand up and get knocked out.
While awaiting an answer from Tyson, Butterbean, still not one to fast, stuck to a busy schedule. Heavyweights simply couldn't contain the hurricane charging at them.
Butterbean again begins to open up, and I think that hurt Burgoon. Burgoon is knocked out. He goes to a knee. I think that's the end of the fight.
Meanwhile, Eric kept refining his craft, firing some hefty jabs here and there.
However,
at close range, he only covered his head.
He's hitting Butterbean with everything. But
since his body was well protected naturally.
And Craven, unafraid.
He's just trying to stay with.
During exchanges, just one shot was enough to walk the enemy into a trap.
Disaster.
You would like, but this is an exciting match. Big uppercut. Butterbean are very punishing, and now he's got
one he couldn't escape without some outside help.
Craven is in trouble. Still punching back, but I don't know how long this one's going to go. Jane 80 says that's enough.
Butterbean entered the new millennium with a routine title defense against George Lindberger, who had a respectable resume of 18-4. This time, Bean burned more calories getting through the ropes than he did smoking the challenger.
Ultimately, of course, he's fighting.
It didn't take long.
It didn't take long for Butterbean to score. I don't think he's with us. That's it. He's out.
One punch was all it took.
Boxing 101, a body-body head combo helped Eric to score a knockout in 19 seconds, 10 of which were spent on the referee's count.
Ultimately, of course, he's fighting.
It didn't take long.
Thus, fighting up to 12 times a year, the king of the 4-rounders extended his undefeated streak close to 50.
Now he's just a sideshow. Big ripping shots by Butterbean. The Bean, a winner again.
At 70 bouts deep, Butterbean's boxing career was nearing its end. But before leaving the big stage, he signed up for a 10-round contest against Larry Holmes. Known for his piercing jab, The celebrated veteran ruled the Royal Division during the heated 80s.
Just falling into the corner, directly above us. And there, see the left measuring, and then the right, and then the left. And Spinks is ready to go, and go!
Handed the aging Muhammad Ali his only stoppage loss.
66. Oh, that right! I stopped the fight! He cared about his fighter too much.
And had somehow maintained his sharpness after several decades.
So here we go.
Butterbean ate everything thrown his way with gusto.
Did Holmes, but it was short. That one got there.
Relied on his favorite overhand.
He hasn't had in the other fights.
Right hand. With right hand, overhand right.
And refueling between rounds with chocolate syrup had no trouble going the whole distance.
Larry Holmes. Here comes Butterbean. He's wailing away now.
There's that windmill.
Although he didn't win in the end, Esch proved that he could go the full 30 minutes, even if it left the front rows gasping for air. After this bout, Butterbean would push boxing to the background and expand his zone of interest into other sports. In 2003, Eric received an offer from K1, the premier kickboxing promotion, where the world's deadliest strikers clashed in brutal wars since the 90s. Venturing into uncharted territory, the 370-pound Butterbean announced his arrival with a battle cry. The poor Japanese journeyman lasted 40 seconds. In his second outing, Esch got thrown into the deep end. Mike Bernardo had been terrorizing the kickboxing elite for a decade. And his ability to connect with people made him a fan favorite. Unaccustomed to kicks, Bean sought to counter with punches. His head could still take a hit, but the legs were not ready for the damage. The White Rhino turned up the heat. Relentlessly targeted the weak spot. And, sticking to the fundamentals, switched up top. Undeterred by the setback, Butterbean was happy to continue entertaining the Japanese crowd. Once, the courteous organizers even offered the American a whole pig as a win bonus. But even with such a fat incentive, he struggled against competent kickers. Having racked up a 2-3 record in 5 bouts, he decided to take his talents to mixed martial arts.
The first 2 rounds, they're finishing strong. Oh, hit him! One hand hurts Lester.
Since holding him down on the mat would require a CDL. MMA was rapidly growing in the mid-2000s. Keeping up with the times, 37-year-old Eric reinvented himself as a mixed martial artist. After a few tune-ups, Butterbean tested the 4-ounce gloves against former UFC fighter Wesley Carrera, better known by his moniker, Cabbage. In the battle of nutritional value, Eric chose the bum rush strategy.
Oh, look at that overhand right. Everyone's just like, there's a nice kick. Oh, right.
Wesley miraculously reversed the 400-pound giant and did some good work in the clinch.
I don't even know if that even hurt.
Nice
elbow.
Spitting out a broken tooth.
Butterbean just lost a tooth.
No, he did not.
Ash invited him to resume the brawl.
Cabbage. Oh, Cabbage landed. Oh.
I was a little nervous, but now...
Another elbow lands. Oh, Cabbage.
I mean, you got BJ Penn screaming choice.
Carrera opened the second round with low kicks.
Cabbage should be doing.
And followed up with a grazing left hook.
Man, 3 lefts land.
Unfazed, Butterbean landed a surprisingly quick combo.
Cabbage, good combination.
and rushed in to slice him up. Cabbage's attempts to tie up against the fence only led to an ill-advised exchange.
Cabbage cannot continue to eat those. Butterbean's going up.
And after a blow to the body,
Still there. You don't want to take those kind of shots.
he couldn't hide the pain.
I don't know if he can go.
During the break, it was revealed that Carrera had broken his elbow against Bean's head, and as a result, the former boxer was declared the winner.
He's got a hard head then.
Yeah, hell yeah. Like a bowling ball.
Talk about this fight, man.
Tough. I mean, first elbow busted my teeth out for some reason. Had to clean my mouth teeth, get the chunks of teeth out, and I went back at it.
How many teeth did you lose?
I'm hoping not count out too many.
In 2006, 4-year-old Butterbean garnered 6 finishes in a row, and even got so comfortable as to score submission victories. The scales under him were pleading for mercy, but Eric fought wherever they would pay, including the industry leader, Pride FC. A special mention goes to a scrap with James Thompson, fittingly nicknamed Colossus. The Brit would either knock his opponents out or fall in dramatic fashion.
Oh! Knocks him down.
As usual, Thompson wasted all his energy in the stare down.
Get ready for war.
And got blown off his clay feet within a minute.
There it is. Oh, that's about it. I mean, that's about it. Butterbean has done it. Shaking his head, Steve, going, you've got to be joking.
In the late 2000s, Butterbean weighed as much as 2 well-sized heavyweights and remained active, with mixed results in 3 combat sports until 2013.
See ya.
Finally, at 47 years old, Ash officially retired, ending his career with a total record of 97-24, including 68 knockouts. However, retirement didn't bring him peace. Instead, he let himself go. Soon his weight surpassed 485 pounds, which combined with an old hip injury led to serious health complications. Eventually, the former king of 4-rounders found himself confined to a wheelchair. Fortunately, in 2022, he met yoga instructor Diamond Dallas Page. Butterbean became part of a reality show called Change or Die, aimed at helping people with obesity avoid a grim fate.
I'm straight as I go, man. I'm pushing right now just to get where I'm at.
Gathering all his willpower, Eric embarked on his rehabilitation journey.
I'll do whatever you want me to do.
Bean followed a special diet and went through painful therapy. After 3 months, for the first time in 30 years, he saw 300 pounds on the scale. The weight loss allowed him to undergo hip surgery, which finally relieved his pain.
I mean, it changed my life, really did. Because honestly, I thought I had a couple years left to live. I'm not bullshitting. I'm good now.
Today, Ash lives with his family in his hometown of Jasper, Alabama. Although the 58-year-old fighter spends most of his time with his grandkids, his remarkable recovery sparked a desire to return to boxing.
Yeah! So I'm excited to see where he can go.
Whether we'll see Butterbean back in the ring remains to be seen. But one thing is certain, his biggest comeback has already happened. A simple factory worker, persuaded by his colleagues with no experience, stepped into the world of professional boxing.
Comes Butterbean in. Good right hand, left hand, down goes David, hits his head.
Running over opponents like a freight truck at full speed. Butterbean would sometimes fight every weekend. Respond to mockery with knockouts.
Right, he goes down.
And with the rise of Japanese promotions, wasn't afraid to test himself in K1. Even successfully adapting to MMA in his 40s.
There you go. It is. Oh, that's about it.
Shattering stereotypes.
Ultimately, of course, he's fighting.
And jaws.
Big right hand.
Eric Ash constantly proved his skeptics wrong and earned the genuine love of the audience.
Bean trying to suddenly punch him, and he does there with a right hand.
I had a kid come up to me at a show, and he come up and he goes, "Are you Butterbean?" I says, "Yeah." He come to the end of my table and stood there and started crying. I come here and talk to me. What's that? What's going on? And he goes, I just never thought I'd get to meet you. About made me cry. I mean, if you can make one person happier, you're a bad person if you don't take that advantage and make them better.
If you enjoyed the video, nuke that like button, subscribe to the channel, and vote for sport.
He is still.
Could have been giving him a little hug, which is nice.